I'm coming on this video with nothing prepared at all. I don't have any idea of what I'm going to talk about. But that's why I wanted to come on here because, here I am just showing up for my life and you're showing up for your life. And that means that we're all just in this together, I don't have to have any answers or solutions other than the fact that I've already arrived here, Don't you think that sometimes? Like, you've arrived here. Is that enough? Did we already experience like the miracle by being here? I think so. I want to be the kind of person who just shows up and my presence, affects change. My presence inspires people because I'm here. I'm present in myself. I'm not checked out. I'm not in fear. I'm not worried about the future. I'm not thinking about something else, but I'm present in myself, That's what raw food does for me. That's what not eating sugar does for me. That's what not eating caffeine and alcohol does for me. When I drink alcohol or caffeine, it takes me right out, right out. I can't be present with myself. I'm worried about something else. I'm worried about some other thing I got to do. But, this is me present right here. I'm coming on this video so I can just be here with you. You can watch this and that I'm just here present. That's cool. That's a really cool thing. I want to do that. I want to do that in every day of my life. I just want to be someone who's showing up, fully present, loving life, here for other people. I want to support other people on their journey. Maybe someone listening right now knows they want to quit alcohol and they don't know how to, and they feel like, trapped in the need to have it, and it's hard, and it's like that crutch, and that it's that emotional support. Well, I'm someone who's done it. I'm someone who's done it. I've had huge stretches of my life without alcohol, and right now I'm on a long ass stretch, which is the rest of my life, because I'm not really worried about having alcohol. I eat raw food. I worry about how the highest vibration I can feel from the highest vibrational foods I can put in my body. That's what turns me on. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about how I can get a buzz or how I can get out of my head or, lower my stress, because the food does it. The raw food does it already. I'm not worried about that. So anyway, here I am just showing up, being present. That's all this video is. I just want to be present for anyone listening who needs some support, who just wants to feel another human being there with them. Here we are, hanging out, right? There's nothing even to do. There's no problems to solve. There's nowhere to go. Except just let our souls that inhabit our body just be here, right? Together in this place that we're in, the third dimension, planet Earth. There is some dark ass stuff going on planet Earth. I haven't really talked about it much publicly, like on YouTube videos, but we got some wicked things going on this planet. But it used to really concern me, but now it concerns me less, because when I take action, I'm in solution mode. I'm solution oriented. When I'm in action, it doesn't matter what the problem is, because I know what path I'm working toward. That's the antidote for me. I don't have to worry about the dark forces, the evil forces of satanic, governments and things like this, because they can't change me. They can't make me eat their junk food. They can't make me take me out of my consciousness. My soul, my higher self, my full being, all the dimensions of my being is here with me right now. And if I don't mess that up with the junk foods and the sugars and the alcohol, then I can be of service to the mission, the cause, to change it, to be a solution, to be solution oriented. The dark forces that enslave humanity, that enslave animals for millions and millions of beings being slaughtered every year, whatever the darkest thing, pedophilia, you name it, right? Whatever the darkest thing that you can even think of is, it doesn't even matter, because it's what we're doing inside of ourselves. What choices are we making for ourselves? What dialogues and conversations are we having for ourselves? What goals are we working on? For me, I'm working on being a raw vegan. That means I don't take the dead food into my body. I don't take the slaughtered animals into my body. I don't take Luciferian satanic ideologies into my body. I take light being, electromagnetic energy from the sun. I take the pure structured water straight from Mother Earth, the milk of all existence, the structured water that feeds my electrical being. You know, my aura is raised and heightened because I am taking the living foods. I don't eat junk. I don't eat chips. I don't eat Doritos, and I don't eat cooked things, you know. The death will beget death. The reason why there is so much dark forces on planet Earth right now is because we're all in a darkness. We're all in a slumber, and a veil is hanging over the consciousness of humanity. And we do it to ourselves every day in this invisible ideology of violence. We take violence into our body. When we cook our food, we are taking an act of violence against ourselves. We're taking an act of violence against the animals when we kill them. We're taking an act of violence against the natural laws of Mother Earth and the universe. We get disease, we get lowered vibrational consciousness when we act out of harmony with the natural law of the universe. That's why we're having the experience we're having. That's why we hate ourselves. That's why we loathe to be alone with ourselves. We can't face who we are. When we close our eyes and we look inside, what do we see? We see nothing. We see emptiness, right? That is scary because we don't know who we are. We're not connected with the light. The light is there to shine and fill that darkness completely, and it comes through pure thoughts and pure food, connection to the divine. It doesn't come through cooking, destroying, pillaging. When is humanity gonna wake up to that one? I've woken up to that one. I'll tell you, the biggest paradigm shift I have ever had in my life is cooked food. We have been cooking our food for hundreds of thousands of years. How long? I mean, we got it right 200,000 years ago. Somehow we got it right then, and now we're still doing it because we got it right. I don't think so. It doesn't feel right to me. In fact, it's gotten us exactly where we are. Where has it gotten us? It's gotten us under a invisible veil of violence that we act out every single day. Violence towards ourselves and violence towards the planet every single day. How did we get there? Well, maybe it started because we were cooking our food. Maybe because cooking our food destroys the food, and it destroys the life force in the food and the auric field of the food. What in the world? How are we still convincing ourselves that we got this right? How can we possibly still be convincing ourselves that we got it right? What if we got it completely wrong and we need to back up a step like 200,000 years, make the correction, and then get back on track and get back to where we're going so we can be a unified light being? The human spirit, the human entity, the human organism can be a light being. Like planet Earth is a light being. Like all consciousness is a light being. Humanity is by our true nature a light being, but we're in a slumber. We're in a dark era of our consciousness. We are in the dark ages right now. We are living out the dark ages. I personally believe, I take a stand, and I personally believe that cooking our food and destroying our food, whether it's animal or plant, has taken us off track. It's gotten us where we're going. It's the wrong thing to be doing. Feeding our soul, feeding our light consciousness and our light being is the right thing to be doing. That's exactly what we should be doing. So, there's that. That's a message that I wanted to share. Here I am just wanting to show up, and just be who I am in service to all humans on this planet right now. Every single walk of life. I can't be with every single human being right now on the planet. I can't be in, Kenya, and I can't be in South Africa, and I can't be in Ireland, and I can't be in Croatia right now, but I can be right here. I can be thinking about it. I can be in service to it in my consciousness and in my soul and in my will. I wish the best for every single human being alive because I am them. Every single human being is me. If I look on my brothers and sisters as separate from myself, like they're doing something wrong, even the most horrendous acts of violence that I despise to look at, I am just seeing myself. I can't ultimately be separate from another. It's an illusion. It's an illusion that we're separate, and it's an illusion that they're right, not they're wrong, and all that. Because it's just me. If I look on something I don't like, I'm just seeing something in myself I don't like. And that includes the slaughtering of animals. And that's a hard one for me to get because I'm vegan, been vegan for a lot of years, and it's hard for me to say that that's okay. It's okay if someone's eating animals unconsciously because it's a reflection of me. But I'm coming more and more as I mature and I grow into who I am and I grow into myself. The more I know that. It's one of my great growth edges right now. It's one of my fears that I have to face right now is how can I truly love and accept someone who acts differently than my moral and ethical beliefs? Because my morals and my ethics go deep in my soul, deep in who I know I am and who I should be and who humanity should be. And then when somebody acts against that in like the direct opposite, well, here I am. If I'm in service to life on planet Earth, I have to be in service to where everyone is at. I have to be in service to exactly where everyone is at, exactly where they are. So that's my growth edge. That's where I'm learning right now. That's where I'm afraid to tread because it's a big, dark, cavernous unknown for me. But I feel it, I'm called, and I'm working on it, and that's why I'm talking about it in this video, is because I know it's a growth edge and I know I have to be working on it. So it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to not have it all figured out. It's okay to not really know, what I'm supposed to be doing and feeling and saying around a topic where my growth edge is. I just have to feel into it. I got to lean into it. I got to lean into who I want to be, even though I don't know how to be that person yet. I know who I want to be. I don't know how to get there. I just got to lean into it and figure it out. So that's what I'm doing on that front. Love and acceptance for everyone on the planet, all the atrocities, the violence, the anger, the poverty, the slavery, the darkness, the satanic governments and invisible Luciferian ideologies. The Luciferian ideology is do what thou wilt, which means that I can do anything I want as long as I choose that it's okay, it is okay. It's moral relativism, which means that if I say it's okay, it is okay because it's only relative to what I say is right or wrong. That's the Luciferian ideology. If you look at our civilization, that's how everyone acts. Everyone lives under that Luciferian ideology that I can choose what I want, whether it's right or wrong, because if I say it's right, it is, which is like eating animals. If I say it's okay to eat animals, I get to choose that. It's okay if I choose to eat animals. But it's moral relativism because it's saying that it doesn't matter what the consequences are of my choices because I want to make that choice and I get to. Where objective moral objectivity would say that I make choices based on the highest moral obligation. So looking for the win-win-win. Win for me, a win for you, and a win for everything around me. That's moral objectivity. There is a right and a wrong outside of what I say is right and a wrong. It's a universal law of right and wrong. It's a law of cause and effect. If you make an action, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. So when we act out of accordance with objective truth and objective law, we have consequences that come back on us. That is the consequences we're seeing in human civilization today in this world because we live in moral relativism. If we lived in moral objectivity, where there is a universal right and wrong, and we act in accordance with universal right, because when we act in accordance with universal wrong, we get slapped, we get slapped upside the head by the universe. We don't want to do that. Well, that's what's happening to humanity, right? Can't we see it? We're getting slapped upside the head by the universe because we are aligning with, what's immoral. We're acting out of moral obligation. We're acting out of moral truth, objective truth, and we have the consequences. Whereas if we aligned with objective truth, we would be acting in accordance with our light beings, our light bodies. We would be building cities of light. We would be building temples of light for all beings and all consciousness on planet Earth. That would look like where we are all one. We are all taken care of. There is total abundance, total trust in all systems that support all of humanity. All of the systems in our society would support well-being, health, vitality. We would be working to better ourselves. So that's what I believe. That's what I believe. Since I learned about moral relativism in relationship to the Luciferian ideologies and moral objectivity, I just can't help but see the world in that way. I can't help but see it, and I want to align with moral objectivity. I believe that there is a right and a wrong in accordance to the balance and laws of nature. And our society does not. Our society does not believe that. And we can see that in action every single day. But I do. I believe that. That's why I am a 100% raw vegan, because what I eat matters to my spiritual experience and how my light body is able to occupy my physical body. Moral relativism doesn't serve that. Objective truth serves that. Objective truth says that the living vitality in living food feeds the living vitality in my living body. Dead food does not feed a living body. Dead food feeds death and decay. Dead food is death and decay. Dead animals equals death. It is decaying. It is in a process of decaying. There is no life in dead animals. There is no life in dead plants. It is death, and death can't create life. But living food, sunlight energy, grows the food and fuels all life. All life comes from the sun. All life comes from the living energy in the sun. That is objective truth. That is objective truth because we can see it all around us. We don't need someone to prove it in science because we can see it for ourselves with our very own eyes every single day. That is objective truth. If we act out of accordance with objective truth, then we are going to suffer the consequences, which is disease and war waging in our bowels. So I clean out my bowels every single day with raw food. Since I've been on raw food, I have about 3 or 4 bowel movements a day. Pretty much after I eat anything, I have a bowel movement. And you know why I'm talking about that? Because it's phenomenal. Quick bowel transit time. There is nothing festering in there. There is nothing putrefying in there. There is no fermentation and waste and buildup in there. It is in and it is out. That is clear. That is in objective truth with universal law. The cleaner my bowels, the cleaner my mind, the cleaner my body is to house my light being. So it is imperative to me to eat raw food to be a cleanly host for my spiritual light body. The master of my house gets to live in a clean house. And how quickly my food comes in and out of my bowels is key. And I work on that every day. And I have been since I went 100% raw. And that is what I'm committed to. 100% raw. Who cares about what food is addictive or cravings or what tempts me? Sugar and chips and fried food. Who cares? Who cares about any of that? You know why? Because how clean my house is matters. How clean I make it in service to the master, my divine soul that inhabits my body deserves the cleanest house possible, and I will be in devotion and service to that every single day. I will be in devotion and service to cleanliness every single day internal cleanliness, personal hygiene. That's why I fast. That's why I eat raw food. That's why I cleanse. That's why I detox. That's why I drink green juices, to have a clean house. That is objective truth for me. That is a universal law that I have come back into balance with and back into harmony with. And that's just how that has worked for me. It's good. I'm excited about it, which is why I'm talking about it on this video. So thanks for being here. I hope that I know I'm ranting a little, but I hope that maybe it's useful for someone. I hope that maybe someone watching this can possibly get something of value out of it. So I'm here in service to that. I'm here in service to anyone listening. And I really care about everyone listening to this message. If you're here, I've got your back as best as I can, as best as I know how. I'm here on this mission to do it. Hopefully you're here on this mission to do it too, So let's celebrate in that. Let's celebrate in that we're here, we're all here, regardless of where we are on our path of evolution and where we are on our path of awakening and enlightenment, and the path of awakening to how clean our house is for the master to reside in. Regardless of where we all are on those paths, let's just give each other a pat on the back and be here in presence for each other. So that's my message. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you in the next one.